Hey guys, this is Karthika Kantwal from Apex Finserv, and we are back with the daily dose of charts or daily market analysis for tomorrow's trading session with the equity watch list and the index outlook for tomorrow, Nifty and Bank Nifty both, using the charts as well as the option chain analysis. But as usual, before we begin to the new trades, talking about the trades that we discussed yesterday, well, out of those, I believe we had three triggers, out of which two hit the target and one hit the stop loss. So overall, it was a green day for the indices. Now, when we talk about our personal trade, that was also a green trading session. We were able to capture about 120 points on Bank Nifty and close to 1500 pips on GBP INR 2. I hope the same goes for you as well, and I hope you guys had a green trading session too. Now, without wasting further time, let's move on to the trade for tomorrow's trading session. Starting with the first one, SR Transfin. Now, SRT, we are going to go for a long trade. The reason being simply we have a good demand zone at that point. There have been multiple impulsive advances or multiple new swing legs from that point on, and also it was a supply zone. It has acted as a supply zone rather. So we are looking to go long at 685, stop loss at 675, ideal targets at 1% on the upside. Moving on to Apollo Hospital, a simple role reversal coming into play. The support that it had, that support is now broken. We had a short position today, and that was triggered to, I believe it was a short at 1715. We had a target met here. So tomorrow again we have a short outlook here as well. We are going to go short at the support turn resistance now at 1685. Stop loss going at 1705. Ideal targets 1% on the downside. Moving on to Just Dial. Now, Just Dial, we are going to be taking a fairly conservative approach here. The reason being we don't have a lot of high quality entry points near the current market price. So better to be safe than sorry, I guess. So we are going to go for a long position at 365, which is a support point that has acted out multiple times in the past. So the idea is to go for a long position at 365, stop loss at 360, and ideal targets at 1% on the upside. Moving on to PL, Piramal Enterprises, we are going to go for a breakout trade on this one. Now, if you draw a trend line at this point onwards, then you have a steep trend line, or you will have a sort of triangle formation at this point with the horizontal support and the trend line. So the idea is to go for a breakout trade of that very pattern. So we are going to be going for a long position above 1430, stop loss at 1410, ideal targets 1% on the upside. It is also going to be a break of the previous swing high, which is a good confirmation there as well. Now moving on to IndusInd Bank. IndusInd Bank, we are simply going to take a long at the resistance turn support. And simple price action concepts work really well on a time frame like the hourly one. So as I said, simple role reversal trade over here, long at 525, stop loss at 518, ideal targets 1% on the upside. Now, generally what we have after IndusInd is MFSL, Max Financial Services, but due to lack of quality entry points near the current market price, today we have substituted that with Lupin. Now, in this one we are going to go for a short position at 985, stop loss at 1000. Simply because if you were to draw trend lines, then that would become the next interaction point. Along with that as well, there is a zone that has acted, or not a zone rather, but there was a support level that was trying to hold up strongly, but it has not held up. So obviously if it has not held up, it should now act as resistance. So we are looking to go for a short position at 985, stop loss at 1000, ideal targets 1% on the downside. Then Oro Pharma, it is a simple long position at the demand zone. This used to be the neckline 855, but this is not really happening anytime soon. It doesn't look like. Instead, it has been respected again and again. So we are going to go for a long position at 850, stop loss at 840, and ideal targets 1% on the upside. Moving on to the next one, Bharat Forge. Now Bharat Forge, if you look at the immediate candle structure, then it has made a higher high, and this seems to be a corrective movement. So as long as this previous swing low is protected of 485, 484, then it should see some upside movement. So the idea is to go for a long position at 490, stop loss at 485, and ideal targets at 1% on the upside. Now these are all the equity trades that I had to discuss with you guys. Moving on to my favorite part, the indices, starting with the first one, Nifty. Now, Nifty for tomorrow, I would say, it is stuck between these two zones, 11,430 to 11,490. There's this 60-point range. Depending on which side it breaks, you can expect a further 50 to 60-point move in that very direction. But when we look at the option chain, then the resistance is pretty much right on the face at 11,500 immediate at 700 and 700,000 added contracts. Sorry, and significant resistance at 11,600 with 530,000 added contracts. The support side of things, we stand immediate support at 11,400 with a hefty 3.4 million total standing open interest, and significant support 11,300 with 150,000 contracts being added. Now the thing is, at 11,400, which is the immediate support due to the heavy open interest, there has actually been no addition of contracts. The total change in open interest for that particular strike on the put side is negative, in fact. So the option writers are not really confident. And even if you look at the recent price structure, then right now it should, if it breaks this 11,430, then it is going to go into lower high lower low formation. However, for the general term or the general market trend, I am not bearish on Nifty, but it is not looking particularly strong as of now. It needs to break this zone on the upside, and we need to see some call unwinding as well tomorrow for it to go up by the expiry. As usual, as I say, I don't really trade aggressively on Nifty, but if you were to put a gun to my head and ask me to trade on Nifty, I would only go long above 11,500, 11,520, because that signifies that the pressure is there and it is being carried on. Again, this is not valid for the first candle, which it might be a false trap, but after 30 to 45 minutes of candle formation. Now moving on to the next one, Bank Nifty. Now Bank Nifty is interesting. We had a gap up opening, but that gap was more or less immediately filled in the first hour of trading, and from that point onwards 23,000 started acting as a strong support. So now we have initiated a new demand zone at 23,000, roughly 22970 to 22990, with the supply zone coming in at 23,120. So Bank Nifty, it needs to break this. It is a very small range, keeping in mind the kind of move Bank Nifty gives. But for intraday, this is the range that you need to watch out for. This is again being confirmed by the option chain on the support side specifically, where we have immediate support at 23,000 itself with 485,000 added contracts. Significant support again at 22,800, again coinciding with the zone with 280,000 added contracts roughly. On the resistance side, we have 23,300 with 295,000 added contracts, and significant resistance at 23,500 with 75,000 added contracts. Now Bank Nifty, honestly, it looks in a much better shape than Nifty. It seems to be performing really nicely, and as I said yesterday, if I were to go long in either one, it will probably be Bank Nifty. We caught a bit of the move at this point and a bit of the move at the second up move as well. Now for tomorrow, conservative trader, you can initiate longs above 2 to 190 ish, with the target being 23,190 to 23,300. Or the aggressive, for me, I'd like to personally go long somewhere close to 23,000, which gives me a good target range of about 250, 300 points with a moderate stop loss of 150 to 200 points. So that is what I have in mind for Bank Nifty. Now when we talk about the PCR for Bank Nifty, that comes out to be at 0.77 PCR of volume, which is neutral. So neither the option buyers nor the option writers are particularly bearish on Bank Nifty. That is not the case for Nifty. The PCR for Nifty comes out to be at 1.01, which is very, very bearish. So the option buyers are very confident that Nifty is not really showing any upside movement anytime soon. But let's see how it pans out tomorrow. Now these are all the charts that I had to discuss with you guys for tonight. I hope you guys had a good green trading session today, and I hope you guys have an even better one tomorrow. And I also hope that you are actually making use of these charts. If you are, then do let us know in the comments below if you'd like us to add anything else in the daily analysis videos. And if you like the content, as usual, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, comment something nice, and press that bell notification icon too, so that you don't miss any of our future uploads. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Have a good night. Bye.